Local man pleads guilty.
And 3 men stabbed at an Appleton nightclub. I'm Caleb Scanlon.
And I'm Samantha Ruff, and this is your Public Eye News. A hit-and-run that occurred in Marquette on Saturday is leaving officers without answers. A ruined Subaru hit a vehicle that was traveling south near 4th Street and Hewitt Street. The Subaru then continued to head north, according to witnesses. No injuries have been reported, but the car received damage to the driver's side. The Marquette police are asking anyone with information about the car or driver to contact them. Stephen Wayne Miller, 49, from Gwinn, has pled guilty to assault with the intent to commit sexual penetration. Miller was arrested in December of 2013 on multiple charges that involved an incapacitated victim. The charges of criminal sexual conduct, both 3rd and 4th degree, were dismissed. Miller is scheduled to be sentenced in Marquette County Circuit on December 5th.
In Iron Mountain, police responded to a 911 call regarding an accidental shooting that occurred at 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. A 25-year-old male residing in the 800 block of East B Street accidentally shot himself in the hand. The same bullet carried through his hand and killed the family dog. The man was transported with non-life-threatening injuries to Dickinson County Hospital. While on the scene, police officers found evidence of unrelated criminal activity. The incident is still under investigation, and a report will be forwarded to the Dickinson County prosecutor for review. After a brief timeout, jurors are returning to a Detroit courtroom for the trial of a man who is charged with arranging his wife's murder. Bob Bouchera's trial was put on hold after he became ill. The trial is scheduled to resume today. The prosecutors are claiming that Bouchera hired a handyman to kill his wife, Jane Bouchera, to clear the way for relationships with other women. There's a litany of evidence against Bob Bouchera, including drug use, a sex dungeon, and his nickname, Master Bob. Handyman John Gentz is in prison for second-degree murder after admitting that he killed Jane 2 years ago on orders from her husband. 3 people were stabbed at the Antro nightclub in Appleton this past weekend. One of these victims required surgery for his wounds, while the other 2 were treated and released from a local hospital. Police have not yet released the name of the man from Green Bay they believe is responsible for committing the crimes. According to Post Crescent Media, officers used a stun gun on the man who had a knife at the fight on the dance floor. And after the break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Next time on Finding Your Roots, Carole King, Tony Kushner, and Alan Dershowitz on being Jewish in America.
In those days, Jewish performers typically changed their names.
When I would come home from a Brooklyn Dodger game and say, "Grandma, the Brooklyn Dodgers won," she would say, "Yeah, but was it good or bad for the Jews?"
We all went through our childhoods feeling proud that we were Jews.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern.
And welcome back. New York City will be gaining joy when one of the World Trade Centers officially opens for business. The Western Hemisphere will host the tallest building, also known as the Freedom Tower. The tower was originally set to open in 2006, but was delayed. The tower provides a statement of hope after the 9/11 attacks that occurred, destroying the 2 twin towers of the World Trade Center. California woman who moved to Oregon to end her life did just that this weekend. In the week before her death, Brittany Maynard revived the national debate on allowing terminally ill patients to die on their own terms. Dawn Champion reports from New York.
Diagnosed with an incurable brain cancer, family members say Brittany Maynard wanted to leave this world on her own terms. In the end, she did so. On Saturday, surrounded by family, she took a lethal medication prescribed by a doctor. In her online obituary, family members wrote, "While she had longed for children of her own, she left this world with zero regrets on time spent, places been, or people she loved in her 29 years.
I hope my family is still proud of me and the choices I made."
Last week, in a video posted online, it seemed Maynard struggled with her decision to die before cancer destroyed her.
I still laugh and smile with my family and friends enough that it doesn't seem like the right time.
She went public in October with her plans to end her life on November 1st. After doctors gave her only 6 months to live, she and her husband moved to Oregon. It's one of 5 states where it's legal for doctors to help terminally ill patients take their lives.
I don't want to die.
In an interview with CBS's Jan Crawford 3 weeks ago, Maynard defended her decision.
No, cancer is ending my life. I am choosing to end it a little sooner and in a lot less pain and suffering.
Before her death, Maynard publicly crossed off items on her bucket list. Her final one, visiting the Grand Canyon. Don Champion for CBS News, New York.
The company that is dismantling the Costa Concordia cruise ship claims they have discovered human remains of the last missing crew member. According to the ship recycling company, the remains were found in a cabin on the ship's 8th deck. The remains have been turned over to Italian authorities for identification purposes. 32 people were killed nearly 3 years ago when the Concordia hit rocks near a Tuscan island. The captain of the ship is being tried for manslaughter, causing the shipwreck, and abandoning the ship. For the past few days, we've been talking about issues related to tomorrow's election. Today's segment features Clay Hitting talking about a veterans millage.
Hi, and welcome to Poli-Sci on the Fly. I'm Clay Hitting. With me today is Ryan Johnson, and we'll be talking about the veterans millage. Thank you for joining us, Ryan.
You're welcome.
First question I have for you is, what can you tell us about the veterans millage?
Well, what's happened within Marquette County is there's been some organizations, some veterans organizations and other organizations that have come together to form what's called the Marquette Veterans Alliance. And what the Alliance is trying to do is advocate for needs that every organization sees within the county. And in particular, we've come to identify that there's a need for another Veterans Council within Marquette County, and the representation is not available at the county level.
Okay. How will veterans benefit from this millage?
Well, right now, we just don't have enough personnel to see all the veterans that need to be seen. The veterans counselors that currently are within our county are from the state, and they came to the veterans group and they said, we don't have enough personnel to see all the veterans that we need to see. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping this person will be able to get to people on the outlying areas and will be able to better meet the needs of veterans.
Great. Can you tell us how taxpayers will be affected by this millage?
This millage will raise roughly 1/10 of a mil, and I say roughly because that is the maximum that it can raise. So I guess a simple way to put that was if you had a $100,000 home, the maximum you'll be charged is $10. This will be decided by the county on what is necessary, but that will be the absolute maximum that will come of it, and if more is not needed, more will not be levied for that.
Okay. Now you've been campaigning for this millage since the beginning of the semester. Have you received support throughout your campaign?
Yes, I've gone to a couple township meetings and spoke with a lot of people in the community, and I haven't received any opposition to this because most people see the need to support the veterans that are returning home and make sure that the services that we need are here. Another thing I like to bring up to people when I talk to them about it is that this money was going to stay within the county. It won't go anywhere else, and it's only going to be used for this purpose.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us, Ryan.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm Clay Hitting. This has been Poli-Sci on the Fly, and don't forget to vote Tuesday, November 4th.
Police in Ohio are saying that a 3-year-old girl is in critical condition after she was shot in the head by her 4-year-old brother. The two children were playing alone in a bedroom when the boy found a loaded .40 caliber handgun. When police arrived on the scene, the father was holding the girl in his arms and the little boy continued to apologize. The investigation is being handed over to the Lorain County Prosecutor's Office to determine if criminal charges will be filed. And after the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
On the next Makers, women engage the electorate.
The status quo must go!
He said to me, Congress is about Chivas Regal, $1,000 bills to beautiful women. And I just don't know why you came.
And take office.
There was an incredible rising up by women's voices.
My slogan became, don't get mad, get elected.
Makers, Women in Politics.
Join us Tuesday evening at 9.
Welcome back to Republic Eye News. I'm Samantha Creans here with your weather. If you look behind me, the NMU Academic Mall, you'll see it's actually a pretty nice day outside, a lot warmer than it has been lately. And currently it is sunny with a temperature of 53 degrees, winds from the south at 11 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.84 inches and falling. Tonight we'll see some rain with a low of 45 degrees and winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles an hour. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 47 degrees and winds out of the west at 15 miles an hour. And we're looking around the area, we'll see it's a pretty sunny UP today. It's 53 degrees in Sault Ste. Marie, 50 degrees in Manistee, 50 degrees and a little bit of clouds in Escanaba, 50 degrees in Menominee, 53 degrees in Iron Mountain, 50 degrees and some clouds in Ironwood, 52 degrees in Houghton, and back here in Marquette, it is 53 degrees and sunny. Looking ahead at the next couple of days, on Wednesday we'll see a high of 44, a low of 36, and some showers in the PM. On Thursday we'll have a high of 38, a low of 32, and some rain and snow. And on Friday we'll see a high of 36, a low of 32, and mostly cloudy skies. So Eric, it's pretty sunny in the UP today, but I heard it's been pretty gloomy for the Wildcats lately.
Yes, indeed, Sam. They lost yet another close game on Saturday, unfortunately. The Northern Michigan University football team carried a 17-6 lead into the fourth quarter, but were unable to overcome 21 fourth quarter points and fell to Walsh 27-24 in GLIAC action Saturday at the Superior Dome. NMU took a 3-0 lead midway through the first quarter when freshman kicker Ryan LeBurge connected on a 35-yard field goal, but Walsh took the lead soon after, hitting 2 field goals, one of which scored from 43 yards out. NMU then took a comfortable lead after sophomore quarterback Shea Brown connected with junior receiver Marcus Tucker on a 33-yard touchdown pass and an ensuing 5-yard rushing touchdown, putting the team up 17-6. A scoring match later ensued after several big plays, from which each team kept the game close until NMU couldn't capitalize after missing a crucial first down at the end of regulation. NMU returns to action Saturday when they travel to Ferris State on their final road trip of the season. Game time is set for 1 p.m. In lighter news, the NMU hockey team kicked off their season in their home opener Friday after crashing the net late in the game, tying Alabama Huntsville 1-1 and winning the following day 4-1. NMU outshot Huntsville 11-3 in the first game and fired off 4 of those shots in the final minute of action. In a post-game interview with head coach Walt Kyle said, quote, "We are disappointed to not get the win, but I didn't think some of our top guys were as sharp as they needed to be," end quote. Saturday was different, though, when NMU took command as sophomore defenseman Brock Moschmeyer scored his first 2 goals of the season to lead the team to a 4-1 win, and sophomore goalie Matthias Dahlstrom made 22 saves in net, including 14 in the opening period. NMU remains unbeaten this season with a record of 5-0-1 and returned to the Barry this weekend to take on Ferris. The chase for the Sprint Cup Championship took an intense turn Sunday night when the past NASCAR champions Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski were a part of a brawl after Jimmy Johnson won his 3rd consecutive Texas fall race. While Johnson celebrated his 4th victory at Texas, an irate Gordon stopped his car right by Keselowski and confronted him. Punches were thrown, resulting in both men suffering from bloody wounds to the face. Gordon was leading the race initially on the 335th lap when he took the outside lane and Keselowski pushed through a gap, making contact that left Gordon's car with a cut tire. NASCAR Vice President Robin Pemberton indicated he had no problem with the hard racing in Texas, but had a different take on what happened afterwards, saying that the environment allows for scuffles, but not when punches are thrown.
It's one of those sports you don't really think about that. It's pretty violent, really.
Yeah, yes. You could call it road rage in sports, I guess. But, yeah, that was interesting. It kind of blew my mind. I didn't see that coming.
It's a lot of blood, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little too much.
Spinning out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's all the time we have for you here at Public Eye News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.